Yeah, think about this. Every single day, you're making just a huge number of decisions, like around 35,000 apparently, which sounds wild, right?
Yeah.
But it's everything from, hitting snooze to your coffee, what you wear, what show to stream, who you text back. It's just this constant flow, mostly unconscious. But here's the real question we want to dig into today. Are you actually making those calls? Or are your choices being, well, subtly shaped, maybe nudged, sometimes even kind of manipulated without you even noticing? So get ready to maybe question, well, everything. Your favorite cereal, your politics. We're going to explore the surprising truth behind this illusion of choice. It feels so fundamental, doesn't it? This belief we have in our own autonomy, that we're in control. It feels like, part of being human. We choose our path.
It really does. But behavioral psychologists, people like Daniel Kahneman, Nobel laureate, they've really challenged that idea. Their work suggests something pretty startling. Maybe 90% of our decisions are actually made unconsciously. We're often just reacting, not consciously choosing.
90%.
Wow.
Yeah. And it gets even more specific. There was a Harvard study, I think 2018, showing over 95% of purchasing decisions happen subconsciously. Think about that. They're heavily influenced by tiny things, packaging color, where something sits on a shelf, even the music playing in the background. You feel like you picked that coffee because you liked it best, but there are probably a dozen other invisible factors pushing you towards it.
Okay, so if most of this isn't even conscious, how does that work? How do these influences get designed into our world? Is someone doing this on purpose?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
That leads us straight into this fascinating concept from another Nobel winner, Richard Thaler. He calls it choice architecture.
Choice architecture, okay.
It's basically the art, or maybe the science, of setting up the context where people make decisions. It involves these subtle tweaks in design. They steer you towards a particular choice, but without forcing you, and often without you even realizing it's happening. Like walk into any grocery store. Where are the most expensive items?
Or the ones with the best profit margins.
Right at eye level.
Yeah. Exactly. Right there. The cheaper stuff. Usually way up, high, or down low. You have to look for it. Most people, they just grab what's easy, what's at eye level, and they genuinely believe, yeah, I chose this freely, but they were nudged expertly.
Huh. Okay, I am definitely guilty of the eye level grab. That really does make you rethink things. So many everyday choices. Now, okay, if a grocery store shelf can do that,
Right.
what about the digital world?
Yeah.
Big tech, algorithms.
Yeah.
How have they taken this to, like, another level?
Right. This is where it gets, well, incredibly powerful, almost spooky sometimes. Social media platforms, for example, they use these AI algorithms that don't just track what you like, they predict it. Often better than you know yourself.
Better than I know myself, really.
So, sometimes, yeah. Look at this MIT study from 2019. It found Facebook's algorithm could guess a user's political leaning with 85% accuracy, just from their likes and clicks.
85%.
Wow.
Or think about Netflix, their recommendation engine.
Yeah, it drives what I watch, probably. Exactly. It's responsible for over 80% of what people actually end up watching on the platform. So in a way, the algorithm chose that show for you, not really you. That's a weird thought. And it goes further. Look at YouTube's autoplay or TikTok's For You feed. They seem designed to just keep you there.
Right. Well, you fall down the rabbit hole.
Right. And that's the point. It's designed to maximize dwell time.
Yeah.
How long you stay, why. More ads, more money for them. But the more insidious part is that this isn't just about ads. It subtly trains your brain. It prioritizes passive scrolling over active choosing. It kind of weakens your decision-making muscle, even when you're offline.
So, yeah, that's a pretty concerning angle. But hang on, let me just push back a bit here. Don't these algorithms also help us? I mean, I find cool stuff on Netflix I wouldn't have otherwise. Isn't there value there too? Is it always just bad?
That's a fair point. No, they absolutely can provide value. Convenience, discovery. The issue isn't the algorithm itself. It's the main goal behind its design. Maximizing engagement usually means maximizing ad revenue. And that often leads to this thing called algorithmic herding.
Herding, like sheep.
Sort of, yeah.
Yeah.
Millions of people watching the same viral video, not because they searched for it or it's the best thing ever, but because the algorithm pushed it hard to everyone. There was this story back in 2020. A TikTok creator got like 2 million followers in a month from one video.
Whoa.
And they said it themselves, it was the algorithm, just picked it up, and boom, snowballed.
Was it really the best content? Or just, algorithm luck? Makes you wonder about all the great stuff that doesn't get that lucky break. Okay, so we've got unconscious bias, we've got algorithms nudging us. Let's shift gears a bit. What about having too much choice? That sounds like a good problem to have, right? More freedom.
You'd think so.
Yeah.
It seems totally counterintuitive, but actually, no. Too many choices often lead to stress, even paralysis, not freedom. There's that famous study by Barry Schwartz, the jam study.
Oh, I think I've heard of this. With the jams?
That's the one. They offered people samples. One group got 6 choices of jam, another got 24. Guess who bought more jam?
The ones with fewer choices.
10 times more likely. The group with 24 choices, they were overwhelmed. They couldn't decide. Choice paralysis.
Huh. Too much choice is actually bad.
It can be, yeah. And in our modern world, especially online, we face this constant decision fatigue. Just endless options for everything. There was a Cornell study. Apparently, we make something like 226 decisions just about food every day.
226 about food.
Yep, and most of those totally unconscious, habit, convenience, anything to avoid the stress of actively choosing again and again.
Okay, so we're all tired of deciding. How do brands and marketers kind of step in? You see things like bestsellers, editors' picks, that Amazon choice badge everywhere. Are they just helping us out?
Well, they certainly look like they're helping. They seem convenient. But you have to ask, who are they really helping? Often these labels serve the platform or the company more than they serve you, the user. By giving us this feeling of endless options, but then guiding us with these simple cues, they've kind of outsourced our decision-making. We let their badge or their list make the choice because it's easier. It's another clever form of choice architecture, really, designed to make their selling process smoother, not necessarily to guarantee you make the best possible choice for yourself.
Wow. So even the help might be another layer of influence. That's a big thought. What does this all mean for, our actual lives, our daily choices? Let's maybe dig a bit deeper then, if it's not always about helping us. Who is benefiting from this whole illusion of choice? It sounds like big business.
You're hitting it right on the head. Behind this seemingly harmless illusion, there's a massive multi-billion-dollar, manipulation economy.
Manipulation economy, that sounds intense.
It is. Look at the numbers. In 2024, global spending on digital ads, over $667 billion.
Billion. With a B.
With a B. And get this, more than 75% of that, so the vast majority, was AI-driven personalized ads. That's how platforms like Google, Meta, that's how they work. They use every scrap of data about you to tailor exactly what you see. And it's not just products, it's information, news feeds, opinions. The explicit goal is to nudge you towards decisions that make them money or achieve whatever their objective is. So even things like your political views, who you might date, the news you read, it's all being filtered. You're put in this personalized bubble, designed by code, not really by your choice.
It's pretty incredible how deep this goes, even into things we think are so personal, like politics or relationships.
Absolutely. Remember Cambridge Analytica?
The scam. Yeah. Facebook data, elections.
Exactly. Millions of users influenced during elections. Not just shown ads, but targeted with psychological messages based on their data, unknowingly. It wasn't about giving information. It was about shaping how people felt, hitting psychological weak spots identified by data. And here's the really chilling part. While that specific case was a scandal, the methods, the basic mechanisms behind it, they're now just normal. Built into how almost every platform works every day. Our little clicks and likes are constantly building these massive psychological profiles.
Okay. That's quite a picture. If this illusion is so embedded, so pervasive, what can we actually do? How do we get some agency back? It feels kind of overwhelming.
It can feel that way, definitely. But there are things we can do. And really, the first step, the most crucial one, is just awareness. Seeing the strings. So first, be aware of that decision fatigue we talked about. Try to notice when you're just reacting out of tiredness. For important choices, give yourself time and space. Don't decide impulsively.
Okay, slow down the big decisions. Makes sense.
Second, where you can, actively turn off recommendations. Make an effort. Go beyond what's just trending or pushed at you. Seek out different sources, different voices, manually.
Be more intentional, less passive. Got it.
Third, audit your apps, your ad settings. Dig into those privacy controls. What data are they collecting? What are they using to target you? It takes effort. They often bury these settings. But take back some control where you can.
Right, actually look under the hood.
And finally, maybe consider something like digital minimalism. Cal Newport talks about this. Basically, consciously limiting the digital noise, the constant distractions. It can really help you get back some mental clarity. Make choices that are more, yours.
Digital minimalism. Interesting.
There's a quote, something like, the most dangerous thing about manipulation is not knowing you're being manipulated. And honestly, just starting to see how these systems work, that's the first step towards breaking free.
So the next time you find yourself thinking, oh, I chose this, whether it's a show on Netflix or maybe even a political viewpoint you hold, just pause. Ask yourself, did I really choose this? Or was it nudged? Was it an illusion, maybe carefully put together by an algorithm, or even just the layout of a shop? Think about how knowing this, being aware of these subtle forces, might actually change things for you. Your next online buy, how you scroll your newsfeed, maybe even just your daily habits. Awareness really is the key. It's the first step to making choices that are genuinely yours. And hey, if this conversation made you think, maybe share it. Help someone else see their choices and the world just a little bit differently.